Hello travelers, Boardman21 here, and today we're going to discuss trade and item factions. And for those of you that missed it, there was a developer overview post that was put out about a month ago. We did cover it, but we didn't watch the video. Today we're going to react to the video in case you have any questions for the upcoming trade and item factions. This video should answer almost all of those questions. We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth as we go through the video, and then of course I'll link the video below in the description in case you want to watch it at your own pace. But let's go ahead and begin.
Greetings travelers, I'm 𝐁𝐿, founder of 11th Hour Games and game director for Last Epoch. Today, we will be discussing the highly anticipated item faction system coming to the full release of Last Epoch on February 21st. We're very excited to release this innovative new way for players to participate in the deep and rewarding item hunt that Last Epoch offers in the way that they like to play.
I just want to mention that their trailers are getting so much better.
By joining the Merchants Guild, you will be able to buy, sell, and trade items through the bustling bazaar.
Okay, in case you missed that, there used to be a system. The original trade system was going to be the bazaar, a place, a community, a town where you could go in and list items, and it was kind of going to be random who you ran into and what items you saw. Now, instead for the Merchants Guild, you actually have vendors that have specific item slots. You go up to those vendors, it looks like you can list your items, and then anyone can find those items and can search for those items inside of the bazaar. So it's not as random, it's pretty straightforward, and we'll get into the systems on how you list and what it costs.
Or, if you choose to join the Circle of Fortune, you'll set your sights to the stars and be able to bolster your item acquisition through prophecies and increased item drop rates. This system is the result of many years of debating what the ideal trade system.
I really like this. Circle of Fortune is one where I'll probably go myself. I still haven't decided which guild I really want to join, but I like the idea of these prophecies here. Like you can see the one they're hovering on here, where the event is the death of a fire lich Grimoris. The condition is that you have to be in the Soulfire Bastion dungeon, and then your reward will be rare items. So you can literally hunt through the prophecies, pick the ones that have the reward that you want, and then go do the event and condition that does that. So this is pretty cool. You can see here that it costs some of your favor, which you just get through killing mobs. We'll get into that a little bit more. But I really like the idea of being able to target farm and have better drop rates if you're planning on playing solo, of course, so you're not being able to give all of that stuff away.
System should look like in a loot-based action RPG, tons of collaboration with our amazing community, and many sleepless nights of game design meetings with our game design team. We found through extensive polling that players of action RPGs are split nearly down the middle when it comes to those who want their experience to heavily involve trade and an economy, and those who want to focus on finding items themselves or with close friends.
And that's absolutely true. I think every poll that was ever put out there, even in our streams, in the community, Reddit, it didn't matter where you went, there was tons of people on both sides. It was pretty evenly split down the middle between people who did not want to see open trade, people who did want open trade, people who wanted to just be able to play with their friends and gift items, and then people who didn't want there to be any form of trading and wanted to just be able to find everything on their own and leave it at that. Some people really didn't want that PoE website, the third party, where you really have to go and know the currencies and all of that. And now you have a way to play and have better drop rates and be able to target farm by ignoring the entire economy altogether. So I really like that. It's just another sign of proof that they will listen to feedback. So make sure that if there's something about the game you don't like, feel free to post to the forums or wherever. They do look at feedback and they change entire game systems around it if it's loud enough. So
we believe that through the item faction system, we will deliver a tailored and exciting path to hunt for top-tier items for both camps of players. In Last Epoch 1.0, you will join a faction once you reach the great mercantile city of 𝐁𝐿.
And for those of you that don't know, 𝐁𝐿 is going to be the start of the 9th chapter. You'll be level 55-ish. Depending on how slow or fast you go through the campaign, you might get there plus or minus 5 levels.
When you select to join the Merchants Guild or the Circle of Fortune, a new interface will become available that will let you access details about your current status with your faction, known as reputation, how much favor you currently have, and what benefits your faction is currently providing you.
Those rewards for the merchant guilds, they're pretty awesome. The Circle of Fortune ones, which we'll get to, some of them are really powerful.
Let's talk about these briefly. Reputation within a faction is a core part of how the faction is going to be benefiting you on your journey. As a representative of that faction, you will continue to increase your reputation by killing enemies and completing quests. For the Merchant Guild, this includes participating in the bazaar and completing trades at your current level. And for the Circle of Fortune, this means completing prophecies that will divine certain items after fulfilling the...
So a couple things here. That's a lot of prophecies that you can have active at one time. That's pretty cool. How many is that? That like 60 of them? That's a lot. But it's really cool that you can gain that reputation to go up ranks, not only by killing mobs and doing quests, but also by doing the fortune or the faction that you're in right off the bat. So you'll be able to actually complete prophecies or actually be selling and buying items on the bazaar to continue to up your rank. So that's cool that there's multiple ways to do it, so you can really get into it early on and be rewarded for doing so.
The foretold conditions. Through earning reputation, you will ascend ranks within your faction, earning you unique benefits and options. Once you have earned reputation within a faction, that reputation stays with your account in that game mode. This means if you rank up a cycle character, all of your other cycle characters will have that rank when they join the same faction and can...
Now that's awesome. I'm really glad they did that. Most people really hate that corruption is character-based. Unlocking the timelines in the end game is character-based. I really like that with the item faction system, that if you make one character and get to rank 10 on it, that if you go make another character and you join the same faction, you'll be all the way there, which makes leveling, especially like Circle of Fortune or even trading, means you'll be able to have access to all those better rewards or higher trading items much earlier on. So that's pretty cool.
Contribute to that faction's reputation gain. You may switch factions and earn and maintain reputation with them with no penalty to your earned reputation with the other.
Now that's also cool. You can switch factions without losing progress, so you can freely switch back and forth. Now remember, items that you have as Circle of Fortune and find as Circle of Fortune will have a rank tied to them, so you're not going to be able to go get a whole bunch of items as Circle of Fortune and then switch over and be able to trade them. It won't work like that.
There are currently 10 ranks to achieve in each faction, with the later ranks requiring quite a bit of commitment in order to obtain. So, while you have the freedom to change your faction at any time, you will want to pick a faction and stick with it to reach the most powerful benefits that they have to offer. It is important to note that you can only be a member of one faction at any given time per character, and items earned with the benefits from those factions will require that you are aligned with them in order to use them. So most players will want to stick to a faction that rewards their preferred playstyle. Next, let's talk about favor. Favor is the currency you will earn while slaying enemies or completing quests for each of the factions. Favor is separate from reputation.
So again, reputation is something that you get from killing mobs, doing quests, and from fulfilling prophecies or selling items in the bazaar, depending on which faction you are. Whereas favor is only going to be given to you from killing mobs and doing quests, and it is what you will spend to get prophecies or to be able to buy and sell items on the bazaar. Along with, I believe the bazaar will also cost gold, but for each transaction, it will take favor as well.
This currency can be used to either complete trades with the Merchants Guild or acquire new prophecies from the Circle of Fortune. And if you find yourself with excess favor, you can always spin the wheel with the Faction Gambler.
A third gambler, so we have the normal gambler in the game, we have the soul gambler in the Ember Dungeon, and now we have the prophecy or the faction gambler or vendor, it says here, but that's pretty sick.
Item gifting to party members has been in the game for a while now, and it isn't going anywhere. However, it's important to note that once you have joined a faction, items will start being tagged with the faction you were part of when they dropped. This means that while questing, if you are a member of the Merchants Guild, and an item drops for you, that item will still be shareable with anyone who is in the party, like always, and be available to be sold, provided that you meet the rank requirements in the Merchants Guild Bazaar. Just be sure that the person you are trading it to also meets the same faction requirements.
So what that basically means is if we're in a party and you're in there and an item drops that you really need, but we're in different factions, even though I gift it to you, you're not going to be able to wear it if it requires a rank in a faction that you're not in. So just keep that in mind if you plan on partying with people in different factions.
The last use case we wanted to solve for are friends who choose to play together and just want their own little trade group. Which brings us to resonances, which are a new type of item that can be found when you are questing with your friends or party members. This item can be used to enable an item to be gifted specifically to the player that you have a resonance with, even if they weren't there when the item dropped. We know
So that's a really cool system that's also in the game. I don't believe they've said how long that you have to party with somebody yet. I assume it'll be quite a while, but say that you have somebody you play with every day and then they went to bed early and then the item that you know they needed right after they left like dropped for you and you're in Circle of Fortune so you can't sell it to them. Well, you can get resonances with that person, and once you get the resonance for that item type, you can simply gift it to them then. That's pretty cool and really expands upon that whole playing with friends. I know a lot of people like to play that way.
A lot of times players will play with their friends and then later you'll be soloing a piece of content and a perfect item drops for your buddy. Well, thanks to the new resonance system, you will be able to give them that perfect item the next time you see them. As those of you who love loot-based action RPGs know, trade and economy is a very complex and divisive issue to solve for when catering to a large player base and different playstyles, while keeping the item acquisition hunt feeling great. We can't wait to get your feedback.
So I like that in the Bazaar you can search by like any category that you want, base type, weapon type, whatever it be. And then for the prophecies, these get me really cool here. I really like that you can put lenses to like find specific prophecies. So you're basically target farming to target farm more. You're putting on layers through that, which is really cool. Like here you can have a 10% increased chance per rank to find belts. And I assume that that will give you like prophecies that's more likely to give you belts. Like it's really cool how these lenses work.
Feedback on the system that we've come up with alongside you, and we thank you for all of your continued input.
Yeah, 15% increased chance per rank to find humble idols. If you're rank 10, that means you have like more than double the chance. Like I can only imagine how many items you can find in Circle of Fortune. Like I feel like drops are going to be insane, but gonna have to wait and find to play it.
Input and passion for helping make Last Epoch the next great action RPG. There is so much more to explore with the item faction system, so check out the deeper dive we have on our forums, and we look forward to seeing you in Last Epoch February 21st.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen that video before or if you're even aware of the trade in Last Epoch. I'm sure you are, but wow. By far the best trade system that I've seen in an ARPG yet to date. I am super excited for it. Let me know in the comments below if you're going Circle of Fortune or going Merchant's Guild. Kind of curious. Talk me into one of them. I'm still debating between the two. Circle of Fortune sounds really good for getting my build going uber fast, but of course Merchant's Guild sounds good as, you know, for just trying to play the economy and sell the good items that you don't need, which can help other players out. But let me know in the comments below which one you're going, and as always, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.